here with Kara Swanson today. She's going to be talking about how she actually went from around, I checked our notes, you were at like 1,200 to 2,000 a month, right? Doing an online membership. And you also used to work one-to-one with clients to now where you've scaled your group coaching business. You got to 42,000 a month in 6 months, right, with this, which is absolutely incredible. And then you had as much as like a $20,000, and this is cash collected. I do like to mention that too. Cash collected week. I believe that was the first week of January too, right?
Yes.
And we've
Yeah.
now, what I love, we just realized before we started this interview, is that Karen and I have worked together officially for a year now, or actually
Woohoo!
364 days. Tomorrow is the year thing.
I love it.
So it's really fun. I'm excited to talk to Karen. I'm excited for her to talk to you all because she can talk about what it's like to actually apply these methods. And I'm also excited to talk to her because Kara used to use what I kind of dub and call the influencer model of using Instagram and how she ran her business. And she wanted to make a shift and a change because she really wanted to help women with their weight and building more of those healthy habits in their lives, right? And she really wanted to do that instead of having more of that influencer model where she had brand deals and things like that. So I think what would be great is if you could tell us kind of like a brief synopsis of your niche, and then also kind of give us some more details and background about where you were with your business when we first started, right? And what that looked like, where you were more of what's considered an influencer then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I currently help women who are just stuck and frustrated, trying to lose weight, getting rid of that kind of diet mentality and doing it in a sustainable way, but also in a way that's helping their health for the long run. So decreasing inflammation, having more energy, decreasing that pain that women often have. So just kind of this whole health approach, but in a sustainable, long-term approach as well, so that they have the lasting results, which is what we all want.
And you've
right?
got some really great results from your clients too, which is amazing, right? Kara's really great at what she does with helping women.
It's been really awesome to see the transformation that women have been having. Absolutely. Yeah. And then what was the other?
The other thing that I was wanting to go into a little bit, just so that people can understand, because a lot of people come to me because they're interested in using Instagram or social media to get clients, right? But it's either they've had kind of, I'd say we have two different types of clients. Either they already have a following, but they're just not getting very many clients from it. Or the B thing is they don't really have much of a following and they feel like they have to follow what everybody says with growing the massive following, doing all those things. And that's what's going to lead to more clients. So if you could give us, because I think it's a really unique perspective you have since you've done both now, right?
Yeah. So I was in that influencer world, over a year ago, and I was making good money with that part, but I wanted to do more of what I loved, right? Working with women, helping them really thrive. And I was really focused on the numbers, getting more followers, making sure, my posts had tons of likes, hundreds of likes, all of that. And I was really focusing on the wrong things because I wasn't getting clients. Like it wasn't working. And I was kind of frustrated about that. And that's why I was so excited to work with you, because it was like just a breath of fresh air. Like I didn't have to focus on the numbers because really, a year ago, I wasn't making nearly as much as I am now. Now I get, significantly less likes, but I'm working with women and I'm making way more money than I, was before then. So it's not about how many people like your posts or, it's about the content that we're actually writing, and really getting away from that influencer mentality, although it's been hard sometimes, but it's proven to work, in so many different ways.
Yeah, I think what has been incredible to see with you is it is challenging, especially when you're used to that mindset of let's do these things and then we grow the numbers, and it does feel good. Like it does feel good when you've got all of that engagement. You're like, look at me, getting all the engagement. It does feel good. But I think more now, it's probably more fulfilling because you're getting to do the type of work that you wanted to do
Mhm.
and get paid well for it. And then your
Mhm.
clients are getting great results too, right? Because they're working with you long term, getting those massive kind of transformations working with you, right? Which is
Yeah.
great too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm getting to do what I love, right? And I know how to get clients, which has been key, because
Yeah.
before I didn't know, and now I'm like, okay, this is what I got to do to get these clients and to work with women.
Awesome. If you could kind of give us, so from your perspective, now that you've made this shift, what are like three things? I'm sure we've changed more, right? There's nuances here, right? But if you could lay it down to like three things, that you changed that made a big difference for you, what would those be?
Yeah, I definitely think learning how to write posts in a way that engages people and not engages people in the way of like, oh, get more likes, but engages their heart. So they're like, oh, I want to learn more, right? Or, just
Oh, I like
really,
that. Yeah, that's a good way of
so
putting it.
yeah, so that they're like, oh, okay, you're speaking to me, really speaking to the women. I
Hmm.
think that has been something that has really helped me be able to get clients because I'll be talking to them and they'll be like, your post resonated, or this, like
Yeah.
when you said this, I felt like you were talking to me.
Hmm.
And so that has been a huge shift from before. I definitely think mindset, which I'm still working on.
This is a never ending thing, though, right? It's,
Yeah, it
it's always
is.
a
It
journey.
is. Yeah, but I think that's been really key, shifting my mindset, my energy, making
Yeah.
sure that my energy is good. And just also shifting away from just what we were talking about, that influencer idea and that model to, okay, no, I am running a business here,
Yeah.
and wanting to work with women and just really help them. Yeah, I think those have been just really key for sure.
Awesome. So, first one was content, right? And how you went about
Mhm.
changing your content from creating content that's more around like generation, I guess we can say, into something
Mhm.
that's more into lead generation where people feel like they're
Yeah.
really resonating with it, they're wanting to work with you, they're actually mentioning the content you write.
Mhm.
The other thing is going to be mindset. So that's the second thing, right?
Yeah.
Mindset, changing your mindset. What's with mindset? And then changing from the influencer to the entrepreneur approach is the
Mhm.
third thing. But with the mindset, what is a big mindset shift that you feel like you've made?
I think I think just so much. I don't even know. Like, just I mean, like my confidence, I think too. And like being like on calls, that's, like that's really important, just being confident too in what I'm
Oh
doing.
yeah,
And,
you've gotten
you
really
know,
great at sales calls too
yes,
now because
because
you
I
had a
remember
struggle with
putting
that in the beginning. I forgot, right?
you were like, Kara, your energy needs to be a little bit more.
But I think this is also such a good, this ties into mindset too, because Kara, for instance, 2 months after we started working together, she made $12,500. So it was really exciting. It's like, yay, right? It's working. But your
Yeah.
first month, you were like, everybody was saying no. I think you were getting kind of scared too because we moved you away from that online membership into a
Mhm.
group program. So you're like, is this going to work? This type of business model?
Mhm.
Does this work? Will people want this? And then it started clicking, right? Because then you're able to get more of those consistent clients in the group program. You even said, I think at one point, it's less work than the online membership.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, I don't even know, I'm bad at math, but like so much I'm getting paid so much more.
Right.
Yeah, so that's been, yeah, I love the group. I mean, especially from doing, okay, the membership to one-on-one, like I've kind of dabbled in different things. I've
Yeah.
done different challenges and groups. And this has been just one by far the easiest in the sense, but also women are getting so much better results,
Yeah.
like, and that's what I just, yeah, I love this approach. So much better, just all around, getting to work with women this way is just so fulfilling, but because they're learning, they get to learn everything from me in the program, where one-on-one, it's like, you kind of give them bits and pieces here and there. And like,
Yeah.
but they're getting the whole full picture during the program.
That's awesome. I think another thing that would probably be helpful, and I like to ask this too, because I do work with women, so a lot of women are mothers, and you're a mother, right? You're a mother to 3 kids, correct?
Yep, 3. Yep.
You have 3 kids. Can you talk a little bit, or maybe give some advice to women, right? Because I honestly don't know how you did it all. Yet for a while. Because you homeschooled your children for a while too.
Yes.
While you were running this business, right?
Yes.
And so can you give some advice maybe to moms who are either wanting to start their business or they're already running a business? And it's a lot because you're running a business and you're taking care of kids. You are also in charge of your kids' schooling. That's a lot to handle.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot.
Right.
They are now in school. Yeah, I would say if you're not working with Natalie, well, then you need to, because that has been a huge game changer. I mean, honestly, like having just that roadmap and that plan and like having it laid out was just so helpful. And I had done so many different things, even worked, with other coaches, and like nothing has been like transformed my business like working with you and like Grow Your Impact. I mean, truly.
That's so wonderful to hear. I mean, I've loved seeing the transformation. It's been great, right?
Yeah, it's been so awesome. Exactly what I needed and what I was looking for. And then if you're, just a busy mom and you're struggling, just trying to find the balance, I will say it's hard, with 3 kids, but I would also really focus on, and you say this too, Natalie, like what is like those generating, what is it? Generating
revenue generating activities. Yeah.
Yes. Focusing on those. So if I have like only 1 hour in my day, that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on exactly what I need to do to actually get clients and move that needle forward, and letting all the other stuff, I used to do all the things, like all the fluff things, and now it's like, no, I don't need to do all those things. I just need to focus on the things that are really going to move that needle and get more clients.
I love it. I think that's the most helpful. I am not a mom at the moment, right? But I can imagine if you're really busy in your life, and I mean, technically with anything that you have going on in your life, it's always important to center yourself around what are the most important things. And a lot of those other things, sure, you can work on those projects and pushing them forward. But as long as you do those revenue generating activities, then you're going to make money in your business. Then you're going to get clients, right? Which is always the main thing. To run a business, you have to have that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I would also say, because it is hard with balancing, is kind of what you've helped me with too, is hiring out when you can, right? Whether that's a babysitter, whether that's meal prepping, whether that's a house cleaner. I mean, as soon as you start making more money, it's really important to get that off of you, because it just frees up then your time, which is what we want,
I know. I think there can be like a lot of like mom guilt or even women guilt around like getting help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's a real shame, because if you're going to be running a business, right, and all of this, and you do want to spend actual quality time with your kids, it makes sense to get help around other things so that you can actually do that and show up as a mom and still show up in your business for your clients, than to think for some reason that you have to do everything. Like we talked about that with helping you with some meal prep and some other stuff too, so that it wouldn't be all on you.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's so freeing. I mean, as simple as someone cleaning my house, it's like, oh, okay, I don't have to spend Saturday doing that. Like I can be with my kids, and actually have a day off, as opposed to, oh, okay, I'm not working on my business, but I still have to do all these other things,
Right. I think that, if I could give any advice to women or moms, it would be to first focus on those revenue generating activities to get your income up. Then once you've got it up, start getting some of that other stuff off you. You don't understand how much time it frees up to just have your house clean, right?
Yep.
To not have to worry so much about what everybody's going to eat for dinner tonight, right?
Yes.
It frees up so much time and space and energy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I think kind of the last thing I want to ask you is kind of what are you looking to do next with your business, right? We've started working together. Kara actually is inside of my mastermind program now, right? So we're
Yeah.
working more closely at the moment, and we're helping you kind of scale your business, get some other things off of you so that you can have more time too, right? But kind of where are you looking, big picture vision, where are you looking to take your business?
Oh goodness. This year really want to scale it to 40, 50K months, and really scaling so that I can work with more women and just make, a bigger impact.
Yeah.
I think too, it would be awesome to be able to do retreats or, even write a book or, just
Yeah.
like thinking about those things, down the road, I think will be really awesome.
Yeah, I love it, Kara. Thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today. We really appreciate it. I'm sure this will be very valuable to everybody else too. And then, yeah, I think we talked about the mom vibe. Okay, one last question, then we're going to let you go. Okay?
Okay.
Last question is, if you were to give advice to you back when we first started, right?
Yeah.
Because you were in a very different mindset. Like, I remember we were talking on the phone. You're like, "Do you think I can actually get to 8,000 a month, Natalie, in 6 months?" Right? Remember that?
This is so funny now.
You're like, "Are you sure? Do you think I could do that? Do you think it's possible for me?" Right? So if you could give yourself advice, right, back when you first started, what piece of advice would you give you?
Well, and I just thought of too, like trusting the process, like trusting that it's going to work and that even if you have a slower week, like that doesn't, or if you have a lot of no's, all in a row, like that doesn't mean that you're going to have a bad month or a bad year.
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember, was it in January? I don't remember what month, but it was like 2 weeks that like.
Oh, December. And then you still crushed December, right?
Yeah. It was, yes. I had like incredibly slow for like 2 weeks, not even just no's, but like was having trouble booking calls, and I was still doing all I knew what to do,
Right.
And I ended up having like a $25,000, dollar month. And so just like trusting like the process and never giving up. I think that's really key. I say that over and over to myself, like, don't give up, Kara. Like you never know how it's going to turn around, and just looking at it too, I think big picture of, okay, it's not just a month, it's the whole year, like it's, what does the big picture look like?
Right. I think that's a really great point because it can feel really, I remember we were speaking at the beginning of December, and that's when you signed up for the mastermind program, and you were feeling kind of nervous because we weren't booking calls. And I was like, all right, Kara, I'm going to give you this is what I want you to do for 2 weeks because we want to make some money. Right? And you did those things, and then you ended up with a $35,000 month in December, right? Out of like 2 weeks, which is incredible. It was incredible. And I think that's more of and we've worked on this, and this is where we were talking about mindset earlier. It can be tricky because you feel like, you're like, oh man, am I not going to make any money this month? Your mind just loves to go to the worst possible scenario.
It does.
Right? But you have to realize, and that's why I call it more of that sales wave, right? It doesn't mean that you're going this way. It just means that maybe we're doing this a little bit, right? As we go up. And I think that's super helpful. And I so appreciate you speaking with us. And I'm excited to help you grow more. Maybe we'll do an update a year from now or something like that,
So great.
All right, Kara, thanks.